Welcome to Warrior Quiz. 50 quiz question about 12 gauge.
10 points will be given for each correct answer. Comment below correct answer and get points. Let's go.
12 gauge bore diameter. 18.5 millimeters. Standard 12 gauge shell length. 2.75 inch. Most common 12 gauge choke. Modified. Typical 12 gauge recoil. Energy. 25 FTLBS. 12 gauge 00 buckshot pellet count. 9 pellets. First pump action 12 gauge. Winchester 1897. 12 gauge slug weight. One ounce, 437 point. Standard 12 gauge chamber pressure. 11,500 p. Birdshot size for ducks. Number 4. 12 gauge versus 20 gauge recoil. More. Semi-auto 12 gauge gas system. Both varies by model. 3-inch Magnum shell holds more. Both. 12 gauge full choke constriction. 0.035 inch. Turkey load shot size. Number 4. Slug barrel feature. Rifling. 12 gauge dram equivalent measures. Velocity. Over under 12 gauge advantage. Accuracy. Pump action cycle time. One second. Tactical 12 gauge barrel length. (18-inch). Breech loading 12 gauge introduced. 1870s. Semi-auto 12 gauge first successful model. Browning Auto 5 1902. Side by side 12 gauge disadvantage. Barrel regulation. 12 gauge name origin. Bore diameter. 0 buckshot pellet diameter. 0.33 inch. Steel shot requires what choke? Improved cylinder. Birdshot effective range. (40 m). Slug effective range. 100 m. 12 gauge versus 0.410 shell diameter. Larger. Break action 12 gauge advantage. Simplicity. Magnum 12 gauge shell length. .5 inch. Choke tube material. Both. Turkey choke constriction. .060 inch. 12 gauge, most popular in hunting. Pump action, 12 gauge reliability. High. Semi-auto, 12 gauge cycling issue. Light loads. Double barrel, 12 gauge selector. Yes. 12 gauge home defense load. Buckshot. Tactical, 12 gauge magazine capacity. 7. Birdshot pellet count in number 8. .300. Birdshot pellet count in number 8. Accuracy. 12 gauge versus 10 gauge power. Less. Choke effects what? Spread. 12 gauge military use. Yes. Over under 12 gauge barrel regulation. Fixed. Pump action, 12 gauge short stroking. User error. 12 gauge slug types. Both. Semi-auto, 12 gauge gas piston cleaning. 500 RDS. 12 gauge mini shells length. 1.75 inch. Turkey choke effective range. .50 12 gauge Dragon's Breath round. Incendiary. Subscribe my channel and get more points.